excited guys to have those big boys up front.
No question, man. Great dudes, great people, great players. Work extremely hard, and mentally they're built the way we want them. Doing a hell of a job.
You would expect them to be on the field right away. Those guys.
Yeah, I think right now we're not focused on that as much as their development and their routine as a professional, and the techniques we're asking them to do right now. That's what the focus of phase 2 is, our development, man. It's the one time all year where you can really focus on just the techniques we're asking them to play. And you get to show it in the meeting room in phase 1, which you ask them to do, take it to the drills on the field, start to learn the scheme, and then next week put the ball down and see what we got.
So from what you've seen so far, are they going to have any trouble once you put that ball down?
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. But I think they all have high ceilings, man, and they're working hard. KG, Phillips, Zeke, Huntley, we got same amount of rookies as veterans. So it's a fun challenge every day. What's up, man? You doing all right?
How are you?
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you. You probably touched on Grant, but I was going to ask you what you're seeing out of him so far.
Yeah, great. I think he's really got the right mentality, man. That's the first thing that stands out. The way he works, when he shows up in the morning, how he is in the meetings, and he takes that on the field. He's been the first guy on the field, before practice, working on his craft. He's a mentally tough kid. He works extremely hard, and I think his lateral agility for his size really stands out.
Weaver was just talking about how consistent he's been from the first play to the last play in college, and how he never seemed to come off the field. But I'm thinking, out here, is that realistic to think? I mean, how much of a weight can you put on a guy to stay out there? And is he on a play count, for example?
No, absolutely not. I think like all young players, what we're telling them right now is your role on this team and on this D-line is what you make it. And if you earn that and you warrant that and you're in great shape, no. You think back to some of the lines we've had here in the past with guys like Wilkins and Sieler. I doubt back in 2020 you would think Zach Sieler would be playing 78 to 80%. So it's all different. It's based by situation. We're really focused on bringing all these young guys along, not just KG, but also Phillips. And, I'm happy with where they're at so far in phase 2.
Yeah, what about Phillips? What's he showing you so far?
Yeah, likable personality, man. I mean, he really loves football. And him and KG, it's interesting. Jordan's 20 years old, KG's 21, okay? So you've got, for me personally, since I've been here, the most youthful group. And they're humble and hungry guys, eager to learn, and everything we're teaching them technically, like there's a lot of new things, They're playing multiple positions. A guy like Jordan played primarily a zero at Maryland, It's like shaded techniques are new for him. Some of the pass rush stuff is new for him. But he works extremely hard, and I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to be around him yet, but both those guys, likable guys, man, and they love football.
So what was it that sold you about them, especially Kenneth, to be as early a selection? What was it that made you say, okay, that's my guy?
Yeah, we did a lot of work on Kenneth. I would tell you, had him at the combine, and the guy, as he comes in the room, he's all about business. He's really about football. He loves this, and I think for him, his stamina and the number of plays he played at Michigan, to still play at the level he did. You guys probably just saw that Penn State play, right? It's like all over the internet. Well, there's a lot of other plays like that, the way he plays. And then I actually went to Michigan and met with him before the pro day. And what excited me is you kind of met with him in the room and watched some of the things he did poorly. That was what I was focused on, the areas of growth and things we get him better at. He's eager to learn. And I think the coaches at Michigan did a heck of a job with his football acumen for where he was as a young player, and then competed his tail off at pro day.
So given that you spent a 1 and a 3 on those guys up front, were you and Weaver like high-fiving on draft night or something, or what?
1 and a 5, right?
Or 1 and yeah.
Yeah, we could have took a 1, 3, and a 5. I wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah.
No, we were excited for sure. I mean, it was awesome for me to see. For us to take the investment in the front is awesome for us. That's for this particular point of where we're at. That's what we needed. And in years past, that hasn't really been the case. If you think back to like 20 to 23 when we had the same kind of three core guys, you know. So it's an exciting time. I know Weave was pumped up about it as well. And now it's about the growth day to day. You know, that's what we're focused on with these guys.
Austin, how important is it to have a guy like Zach, and how much does he even have to step up more? Because Calais is out, you know, Armstead's out as a leader for a guy like Zach Sieler.
Yeah, I would say first thing was Zach. Zach's captain on this team last year, and he earned that throughout a long process here from where he started as a Dolphin in 2020. And we just need Zach to be Zach. You know, I think everybody that knows him and knows his leadership style, that's what he's all about. Now, when you have, you know, 4 rookies in a rookie class, how valuable is he? He's the picture we want from a professional walking in the building every day to how he attacks individual, how he is in the weight room, how he is in the meeting room, and how he is when he leaves as a professional. So to have that is invaluable, man. And Zach's been great. You know, it's funny. I joke with him. I'm like, you're the old guy now, man. I think he's 29, and, you know, Jordan can't even buy a beer. I mean, it's like, it's fun, though. I'll tell you this. It's reinvigorated me as a coach to go, okay, we got 1 or 2 guys that have kind of been around here, and we got to host some new guys. We got to teach them, we got to coach them, we got to develop them.
How could you be more invigorated? I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough for you. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, hey, we went a couple years without drafting a D lineman. That's how, you know what I mean?
Couple.
No, but it's a credit. It's a credit to, you know, Chris and his staff as well. I think that's the thing that can't go missed here, man. I mean, we've had some really good D linemen, you know, and when we've drafted them, we've drafted right, and it's our job as coaches to develop them, and they trust in us to do that, and respect the crap out of that, and even the later guys and the free agents we got, the scouting department did a heck of a job with that.
With Biggers, how fortunate were you? Because I looked at him and I thought that looks like a 0 right there. How fortunate were you to get him in that 7th round?
Yeah, I thought Zeke was a great pickup. You know, it's Biggers he's big.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is, when he walked in here, Kenjay Cotton, our assistant D-line coach, was actually at the East-West, I believe, which Jordan was there, and Zeke, and actually KG, he just participated in the meetings. But he left and came back. He goes, look, this guy's a big ball of clay, man. And that's what I see. You know, he's a big body, fluid mover, and he's got to continue to get stronger in the weight room, stronger at the point of attack. And he may be able to do a few things. We're excited for him to see him work.
Why 3 noses though? Is it just 3 college noses?
Yeah.
I don't know what your vision is for him here, but that I found that very unique.
Yeah, I think, you know, you may see him as noses. We see him as versatile pieces. You know, I think it's kind of like the analogy I would use for you is, you know, we played nickel defense with Christian and Sieler here for a long time, 2-3 techniques. And you would say, well, you don't have a nose. Well, it's kind of the best available guys you can get and piece together. I think that's the way you kind of look at it. And then we get them all here, and we evaluate what they can do and what they do best, and then we try to piece them in them spots, you know? And I know sometimes based on where these guys, you know, it's interesting. Our group, all of them, I think maybe except one, had multiple D-line coaches in college, which when you talk about development, like maybe there was someone who put a guy in a box and says, hey, this is just it. Or maybe at their college, they didn't have a nose, so they played him a nose, you know? So I always try to stay open-minded with who we got. We're going to find out what they can do. And it's up to them. Their role is going to be what they make it, but they're doing a good job so far.
We've said he was just happy that he was walking around with guys bigger than him. That's what he said.
Oh, these guys are big, man. You know, big is not going to be the problem, but we got to get them to understand how to unleash that power out of their hips, their legs and their lower back, come out of their hips, use their hands in the run game, and, you know, start crushing some pockets in the pass game and make it difficult on them. But these guys are huge. There's no doubt about it. He feels like they're big. How the hell you think I feel?
Yeah.